Well, welcome into Rattler Up with Coach Walsh. We're live from the Hays County Barbecue Event Center. This is the place to be on Monday nights at 6 o'clock. We talk football, we talk Rattler Nation sports, get you some brisket, get you some barbecue. Come on back and join us. This is, again, the place to be on Monday nights. I'm your host, CJ Odom. With me, as always, San Marcos High School head football coach and athletic director, John Walsh. Coach, welcome into Rattler Up.
It's darker in here tonight.
Yeah, time change. We got a little darker atmosphere. It's a little more festive in the Big Tex Event Center here at Hays County Barbecue. So we're off to a great start. It's going to be a fun week. We're obviously going to talk about this past Friday night, Akins, and we're in the tournament, as you knew we would be, right?
Absolutely.
And we're going to talk a little bit about volleyball and how their playoff run went. We're going to talk live in studio. We've got the head girls basketball coach, Jermaine Irvin, here with us, along with some of the seniors on the team. So we got lots to cover this week on Rattler Up. But, Coach, overall, first of all, how was your weekend?
It was a happy weekend.
I bet it was a happy weekend.
It was a happy weekend. Yeah, it was. You know, when you start the playoffs, you don't get a chance to really enjoy the happy because you want to win that next. You want to stay.
You're prepping.
You want to stay in the tournament. So we put a long day. We usually don't put long days in on Saturdays, but we went long Saturday and about a 13-hour day yesterday. So. I'll be ready to go to bed tonight.
I bet. And I'll even say, behind the scenes a little bit, this show, this is Monday nights at 6 o'clock here from Hays County Barbecue. You can watch us online, the VYPE YouTube channel, and we're 6 o'clock-ish, right, Monday nights. And I'll tell you what, this is definitely a Monday night where coaches were working hard, getting ready, and I think this is an event that I don't think people will mind if we're a little bit late on a Monday night if it means we're out getting ready for Vandegrift.
Right. I've been here about 5:30 every time we had a show, but today I was right at 6. We had some stuff to get in.
Now, I do know there was at least some time for you to relax this weekend. Halloween was 2 weeks ago, Coach, but we understand that you had some fun this past week. A big Yellowstone fan, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And so I think we've got live for the studio audience to see you were ready to go for Yellowstone. If you didn't see that, Hays County Barbecue liking that one.
That was two Halloweens ago. Yeah.
All right, so exciting there. We've got Rattler Nation events. We got Yellowstone premiere. It's a great time here in Rattler Nation.
Yeah, it's a good time.
All right, well, on that note, let's look back at this past Friday night as the Rattlers wrapped up the regular season in Austin against Akins High School. It was a big Friday night. We asked the Rattler Nation to show up in force, and they certainly did that. Now, the game started off rough for the Rattlers as the first score of the game would come on a pick 6 from Akins. However, San Marcos responded with a 46-yard touchdown run from Jaden Brown to get the game tied up at 7. The leads just kept swapping back and forth from there as each team would get a touchdown up on the other, ultimately leading to a 28-21 lead for the Rattlers at the half. Now in the third quarter, the Rattlers would finally open up a larger lead with a 32-yard touchdown pass from Isaiah DeLeon to Ryan Hicks to give San Marcos a 35-21 lead. Another Jaden Brown touchdown run and a Kanui Guidry touchdown would tack on 14 more points for the Rattlers, who held off a late push from Akins, securing the 49-28 victory and a spot on the playoffs. Now, Coach, lots to talk about here, but kind of open up with the big picture. Big Friday night, what were the overall takeaways from Friday night?
Yeah, I think we, just from a team standpoint, coaches and players, it was pretty much a business trip. I mean, we didn't have to coach them up on being locked in or being focused. They knew the task at hand. They wanted to be practicing this week, and you could tell when we take over a church and we go places. And we get there about 3 hours before. Mark and Emilio give us a devotional. We have a meal, and then we do all our meetings. And it was a very locked in 3 hours. So I knew we were in good shape. And then as far as how the game went, it started off a little bit, like you said, a little bit shaky. But when you play this far in week 10 and you're in the playoffs, there are games you can reflect back on. And I don't think I had to tell the guys we've been here before. 2 weeks ago, Del Valley? Mm-hmm. We started off a little bit not so good, and we just stay steadfast. And the defense was playing good ball. They weren't making us punt, so we knew we were going to finish them off.
And I was going to ask you about that because, we've been doing Rattler Up all season, so we've talked about the wins, the losses. We've kind of, really broken down each game all season long. Was there a feel from the kids, I'm sure, for the coaching staff, for sure, that you could look back to a New Braunfels game, to a Holmes game, to a Del Valle game and say, because of that, we're now ready to win here tonight, Friday night against Akins?
Yeah, we constantly, you have to, whether you win or lose, you better be learning lessons. I don't care what sport girls basketball is here tonight. Whether you win or lose, you better learn lessons. The ones that win games and just feel good about the win and don't look at the lessons in there are the ones that's going to cost them later. So, yeah, we constantly reflect on the lessons we learned to win later on.
And it was a real well-rounded night. Like you said, defense was playing well, made the stops when they needed to happen. We were moving the ball through the air. We were moving the ball on the ground. How important, you've talked momentum a lot of times, right? I mean, this is exactly when we've got to be clicking. It sounds like we're clicking on all gears at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and the hiccup last week against Bowie, if we didn't have character or we didn't have a good backbone, that could have derailed us. And not at one point, other than the first half of that week, that Friday night against Bowie, did I feel any kind of mood swing? You know, we've been on point.
And so let's talk a little history. You know, I think it's well documented. Rattlers, we've only won a handful of games the last few years. We've been on the down slope, right? Our last playoff run was in 2017. Your first year, you come in. Obviously, COVID restrictions being what they are, plus taking on a new program, a litany of challenges. We had a 2-7 record. But this year, we're able to turn that around. We get 5 wins on the season. We go 4-3 in district, and we're in the playoffs. Walk us through what it's taken to have the team turn around so well so fast.
You know, I've been asked that a lot, you know, and I think it's just trust. You know, I know we have good systems. I've been doing this for 28 years, so we've learned as a staff good systems, whether it's how you train the body or how you teach offense or how you teach defense or how we're mentally getting them prepared. So I think the systems are in place, but there's a lot of coaches with good systems that don't win and maybe not, some systems wouldn't have turned around as fast, but the trust with the boys and our staff and the grown men happened immediately. And I think that's why we've moved along so fast.
Well, and I think it's huge for the kids. I think not just in football, but in other programs to start believing that they can do these things, right? Absolutely. To not be written off as, well, we just don't have the athletes, or we just don't have the resources, or we just, whatever excuse you want to insert here. I think the football team, the volleyball team now have proven, and the expectation has been set moving forward for other sports. No, we have what we need to be successful here in San Marcos. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I think it's a culture thing too, and not just a culture, hey, we're winning now. I'm in a culture of we're having a good time doing it. No matter what day it is. If it's a Monday in April and we're not in season, or it's basketball in August and they're not in season, we're having a good time doing Rattler athletics.
Right. Well, let's take a look then. Akins was a huge game, probably plenty of things we could have chosen here, but we're going to take a look at this week's play of the week, and we'll let you walk us through what we're going to see here.
So I think the score, at one, we should be up 28-7 here, but because of circumstances, we're not. I think it's tied right here, 21-21. So I've always talked about, just keep playing it, Josh, if you would, loop it around a little bit. I've always talked about the biggest momentum in games is right before the half and right after the half. And so there's 43 seconds left maybe. And they're bailing out for the pass. So he knows this is our third down call for him. And I'm really just hoping to get in field goal range. And you can see, you probably catch me. I think I'm stride for stride with Isaiah here. But
we're gonna see you pumping up on the legs here.
But I'm close because I'm ready to call a timeout with the official.
Here you go. Good leap there by Coach Walsh.
But homeboy decided to score anyway. So we took momentum. So it was a good play for us, and that captured momentum for the entire rest of the game.
Well, and the difference between going into the half tied and going into the half up a touchdown is huge, right, for the way the halftime locker room talk goes. Well, with that play of the game, it's clear who our Rattler of the Week is going to be. And so congratulations to this week's Rattler of the Week, junior quarterback Isaiah De Leon. Hays County Barbecue, make some noise for our Rattler of the Week. You see there, 10 for 17, 196 yards. He got a touchdown on the ground. He got a touchdown through the air. And that is our Rattler of the Week, junior quarterback Isaiah De Leon, and he's joining us live here at Hays County Barbecue. So, Isaiah, welcome in, and congratulations on being named Rattler of the Week.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, so I want to just get right to the end. We're going to talk the game a little bit, but I just want to know, take us down on the field, peel back the scenes, right? We're watching from the stands. We know it's exciting, but you're down there, the buzzer sounds, you did it. You did what you came to do. Walk me through that feeling. How did that feel down on the field?
It really just felt good to know that we've gotten to the point that we've been trying to get to of the playoffs, and then just know that we have more work to do, and we're trying to get further than we are now.
I love that you're enough, you can celebrate what happened, but you know there's more to do, right? This wasn't the only goal in the season.
And that was refreshing for me, because everything that happens here is because these guys have not. I don't think. How old were you? In 2017, what grade were you in?
I was in 7th grade.
So they're young, so right. They didn't really experience it. You never know how they're going to be. Like, all right, we made the playoffs, and they're going to celebrate so well that they're celebrating too much.
As if we're done.
And they did.
Right.
And it was strictly business as usual, and I knew when I woke up Saturday that the team was going to be right.
Now, Isaiah, in the postgame, Coach Walsh talked about patience and loyalty. Talked about that was the key to kind of building this program. You've been in the program for a number of years now. You've been obviously in both years under Coach Walsh. What is the player perspective like on patience and loyalty?
We just feel like if we do what these coaches will say and what Coach Thompson's saying in the weight room, then we'll be able to get to where we want to go, and they'll put us in the right positions, and we just go through them.
So talk to us about the game. So let's go back into the game itself then, right? First half, it's a prize fight, right? I mean, it's you get me, I get you. We've been in a few games like that before. Was that something that you weren't worried about because you knew we'd been there, done that? Or how are y'all feeling as we just kept swapping touchdowns throughout that first half?
We really just felt like we could come out and perform better in the second half and try to put the game away and get on to the next. We felt like we were a little flat in the first, and we could have just opened it up more in the second half.
Now, for you personally, across the last couple of years, you've been that dual threat that's been so important to the offense, getting it done in the air, getting it done on the ground. What do you have to do personally, whether it's at training or in your own personal workouts, to be where you can be successful in both aspects of that game?
A lot of it's the work with Coach Thompson and the weight room, and then on the field, the speed work, agility work, and then just doing more on your own, and then working with Coach Vallejo with all the throwing and stuff, and it's just a lot of work in the off season.
All right.
I think what he takes for granted, because he's intelligent, and we're able to. There's been years at my previous school where we had this much offense on, and there were years I couldn't have this much offense on, and we're able to keep piling on offense because he mentioned the physical part. The intellectual part he has down, and it's why we're able to progress.
When you trust that he can make the right calls and the right plays on the field. And so part of that, Josh, I know you enough to know that you're a humble guy. You don't want to brag on yourself personally, but I want to brag on you a little bit. And I'll just ask to talk to us about the recruitment process. We know that you have been to a number of big camps. We know that colleges have looked at your film and have talked with you, interviewed you. Can you just, for people that haven't experienced that, or for some of our younger, we know a lot of middle school kids are looking up to you guys, that they want to be a part of that. Walk us through what that recruitment process has been like the last couple of years, and especially this season.
It's really been a lot of fun, getting to go to these places and see how incredible a lot of this stuff is, and meet some of these guys that are doing all this stuff, and then just it comes with all the work that you put in once again with Coach Thompson and with these guys, and then they'll just put you in the right positions, and if you do it right, they'll get you there.
Well, so what's this week look like for you guys? What are some of the things that you personally are looking to focus on as you get ready for this bi-district matchup?
I'm just trying to focus on getting the playmakers the ball, and just drive the ball down the field, score as many points as we can, keep the defense off the field, and try not to let their offense on the field so they can score points. So we're scoring points.
Absolutely. It's a great guy to have at the helm of the offense. Is it right as a coach?
So this is funny. When I was looking into this job, there was a couple that I was into, and you have to have a dual threat quarterback to do our stuff. And I just happened to find video of his maybe it's your freshman year. Freshman year, and he actually ran a read play that we have on, and he had hurdled a guy, and I remember texting Coach Vallejo and saying, "Hey, I think we can win with this guy." I never even met him. I just saw a clip.
Right.
And I did look. I did my homework on the internet. Found out his dad was a principal, so he might have been kind of smart. And so it's
And then you met his dad.
Yeah. Then he couldn't find the light switch tonight in the stadium.
Right.
He's been here for 18 years.
Come on, Mark.
But no. We are fortunate, and you can't win without a good quarterback in football. You can be decent, but you can't win. You can't be in the playoffs. So, as a head coach taking over a new program, I am very fortunate that Isaiah was sitting here.
All right, well, Isaiah, we want to give you a chance. You've thanked some coaches in there, which is really awesome. What are some other shout-outs you want to throw? You got a live mic to throw out some more thank yous to some people that helped you get to this point.
Shout out the O-line. The O-line making big plays for everybody.
Keeping you safe.
Shout out the receivers making big plays, and our running backs are a big part of our offense. Our running backs do I mean, I don't know, a lot. Blocking, running, and then just our defense has been really good at getting us the ball back, getting us a chance to score, and then just all the families out there in San Marcos, just shout out to all of them.
All right. Well, Isaiah, thank you so much for being on with us in Rattler Up this week, and congratulations on being Rattler of the Week. Case County Barbecue audience live in the studio. Give it up for our Rattler of the Week, Isaiah De Leon. All right, well, with that, we got lots more to talk football, Coach, but we're going to head to our Rattler Nation update now. We're going to check in on some items and things going on around the other parts of Rattler Nation. It is an exciting time to be a part of it with everything going on, and we had one team that has kind of set that pace for us this last week. The Rattler volleyball team began their playoff run right where they started last year's run this past Friday night at Vandegrift High School. Now, while they were able to get the upset and move on last year, unfortunately, Vandegrift provided an incredible challenge this year. Rattlers fell in 3 sets and ended the playoff run, but they end the year, as we said last week, with the most wins in school history. We had individual records set. And so, Coach, I ask you as a coach at this point, and I'll ask you as a father later, but you're in the locker room. You've been in the locker room after a heartbreak like that. The season ends. What do you guess, and maybe you know, what's Teo's message, Coach Teo's message in the locker room immediately following that game?
You know, I didn't really ask because the girls came out pretty emotional, but knowing him, he kind of plays the stone face, and we got a volleyball coach here somewhere. He plays the stone face, and he keeps a pretty good, calm demeanor, but he is a softie. And so I'm guessing he finally, I'm saying he got soft and just loved them, you know, because that's all you can do at that point. I don't care if you're coaching girls or you got a bunch of meatheads in the football team. When it's all done, you just got to love them.
Well, you're hurting for what just happened,
Right.
and you got to make sure they come back and realize and be proud of what they've accomplished. But that comes later, obviously, I'm sure. And so you've a lot of people don't necessarily think about the emotional toll that takes, especially on a senior. Now, some seniors have some future aspects. We have signing day coming up this week, as a matter of fact, for several of our athletes. But even if they're playing at another level after this, for a senior, they know they've played their last game as a high school at the high school level. And for some of our seniors, this is their final time playing as an athlete. How does it feel as a coach, as a parent, perhaps, to see that happen? You've had that happen with your oldest son as well.
It's a great question, and I was actually meeting with a family this weekend that's moving in. And what I expressed to that mother that I haven't met yet was that it's our responsibility as the athletic director and the coaches, whether you're playing college ball or this is your last high school ball, it's our job to make sure they have a great high school experience. And from a dad standpoint, Maggie had a great high school experience going through volleyball here for 2 years. So, and that's my job to make sure the girls' basketball is here, that everybody, whether you're playing your last game in high school when you're done, or you're getting to do something, that you had a great experience here.
Well, and we're so proud of the girls. I think the volleyball team, I hope the girls know what an impact they made on Rattler Nation. They set the tone for us. They got the Snake Pit excited. I think our boys and girls basketball teams know, hey, the Snake Pit's warmed up and ready to go after that volleyball season. Little ones, junior high kids were coming, and they were excited to be a part of it. So congratulations to the 2021 Rattler volleyball team. They really made us proud here in Rattler Nation. Give it up for them here at Hays County Barbecue. Fantastic season. Well, as one season comes to a close, we got another one just beginning, and that's the case with basketball now here at San Marcos High School. So we're going to go, and last week we got some insight into the boys basketball program. We're going to look at the girls basketball program. So when we return from commercial break, we're going to be joined by San Marcos High School girls basketball head coach Jermaine Irvin. We'll have that and more when we return on Rattler Up. Hey, All right, welcome back to Rattler Up with Coach Walsh. I'm your host, CJ Odom, and joining us here is head coach of the WIMP girls basketball team at San Marcos High School, Jermaine Irvin. He's also joined by four seniors that are on the team. We'll meet them in just a moment. But Coach Irvin, thank you for joining us and being here on Rattler Up.
Thank you. We're good. We're happy to be here.
All right. Well, thank you for bringing a great crowd. Hayes County Barbecue filled with basketball parents tonight. Thank you for joining us. Hayes County Barbecue, this is the place to be on Monday nights. 6 p.m. Monday nights. Come in here, eat some brisket, talk Rattler Nation, talk sports with us and Coach Walsh. Stay after watch Monday Night Football. This is where you want to be. And if you can't catch us live, you can catch us on the VYPE YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, search VYPE, VYPE. All our archived episodes are there. You can catch Rattler Up at your convenience if you can't be with us on Monday night. Well, Coach, we want to start with you, and with the viewers really seem to really like when we get to know our staff. I think we want to know more about our coaches, how they got here, that kind of thing. So we'll just open with that kind of basic thing. Talk to us a little bit about your background, what you've done before you got here, and what led you into Rattler Nation.
I started off working in AISD at Austin at the middle school, coaching all of the sports. Travis High School in Austin gave me an opportunity to come and coach, varsity assistant coach the girls basketball team. And from there, I traveled to the boys' side. I coached 3 or 4 years at Travis. I coached 3 years at Elgin High School. And I was a year at Akins. But during all that time, I was coaching AAU basketball in the San Marcos area.
Okay.
I don't know if you know him, but Isaiah DeLeon's dad, Mark DeLeon, was the head of the organization. So he brought me in to work with the boys. And so at that point, I was kind of trying to slide into the San Marcos area, and it just hadn't, I was just going the opposite way for a little bit, and our drive commute to Elgin make you really want to be closer to home. And so Miss Presley gave me a call when I was at Akins and asked me, was I interested in coming around and being closer at this point. I gave Coach Walsh a call. We sat on Zoom for about 30, 45 minutes, chopping it up, and I really knew that it was a place that I really wanted to be. And Coach Walsh said, I'm going to find a way to get you here. And lo and behold, everything worked out, and I've been here since.
All right, well, we're excited to have you, so thanks for being a part of Rattler Nation. We're excited about the season upcoming. And so talk to us, now that you've been here and you kind of got your feet wet and you're getting started with this first season, what's some of the things that have been most exciting to you about being here in San Marcos with this program?
Number one, having an opportunity to be here before. So I was, like I said, I was the varsity assistant last year, so I knew all the girls and I kind of knew what we were doing good and what we were struggling with. So that was a great opportunity for me, and having 4 seniors, you know, coming back, and 6 varsity players that had already played at the varsity level. It was an exciting thing for me because all I needed to do in my mind was just tweak some stuff and give the girls an opportunity to loosen up and be free and play the way I know they could play. So I thought that was going to be a great experience for all involved.
Okay. Well, talk to us a little bit about the season. So your pre-district schedule, obviously, we've talked on this show a number of times with Coach Teo, with other coaches about the importance of that pre-district schedule. So what are some things that you're going to be looking to work on in that pre-district portion of the schedule? Some of the tweaks, like you mentioned. What are some of the things you'll be looking and kind of focusing on to get the girls ready for that district part of the schedule?
The first thing we're going to work on is continuity. And our preseason out-of-district opponents are really strong opponents. We played Friday night. We played Clemens. They went 3 or 4 rounds deep last year. They were a senior-led team. We have Smithson Valley at home tomorrow. We got New Braunfels Canyon. So we have a lot of teams that we're going to get to play on the road to build that continuity, that togetherness, to face some adversity and see if we can fight through it. And then as we get used to what everybody's role is, I think that it's going to be really good for us because we have to establish our roles.
That's awesome. Well, let's meet some of your seniors that you brought with us. So why don't we pass the mic around, girls, and just introduce us, give us your name. We know you're a senior, but tell us the position you play and a little bit about yourself.
I'm Angelina Sotelo. I'm a senior, and I play point guard. Been varsity since freshman year.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm Dee Pearson. I'm a senior. Didn't get to play my freshman year, but been on varsity since.
My name is Chelsea Williams. I'm a four-year letterman, and I play the forward.
I'm Vivian Hernandez. I'm a senior. I play a two guard. I've been playing since my freshman year.
All right. Why don't you hold on to the mic and we'll start with you. So want to know what are some of your first thoughts this offseason? So you've had the offseason to work out. We've got our first game in Friday. What are your first thoughts about this team and how we're going to do this year?
I think we're going to do very well. We have a lot of connections between each other. We played with each other for a lot of years, and I think just having that connection will get us to where we need to be.
Okay. You can pass the mic to whoever wants to go up next. So just asking you, what are some of the specific strengths that you're excited about that this team's going to have this year?
I feel like us four seniors are really a big part of the team, so I feel like that's a big, strong aspect that we have. And Coach really emphasizes our defense, so I think our defense is going to be really solid this year.
Okay. Now, as we pass the mic back along here, so talk to me a little bit about what the hardest work you think is going to be this season. What do you think the biggest challenge you guys are going to face, and maybe how you're going to face it?
I think our biggest challenge is probably going to be our size, actually, because we're pretty small. But I feel like our defense is going to make up for that, so it'll be good.
Okay, excellent. We'll pass it back up front here, our point guard. So point guard, you're kind of the leader of the show a little bit here, right? A senior point guard. So you got fans out there that want to come out to the Snake Pit. They're making a decision. Tomorrow night will be their first opportunity against Smithson Valley. What do you tell that fan? Why would they have a great time coming and watching the Lady Rattlers play basketball in the Snake Pit tomorrow night?
I think they'll enjoy it because we're very intense, and we play free, so it's good to watch. Yeah, people enjoy watching us.
Okay. Well, hold on to it here. What is your personal goal for this year?
I want to make it all the way. I think we have a chance to go into state and being champions.
We love hearing that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Pass the mic around. Same question for all the girls. I want to hear some personal goals that you've got for the season.
Some personal goals.
I'm going to give her some time. That's okay.
My personal goal is just to develop as a person and an athlete all around, with my mental aspect and my physical aspect.
Okay, Chelsea. Personal goal, just to finish out this year as a family and to get as far as we can get, no matter how challenging it can be, just to finish through, and if it ends up, then it ends, but that's the fun part about it.
You're going to be together wherever we go, right? That's
enjoy
awesome.
each other. So
that's awesome.
It's hard for her to come up with a person. She's all team oriented.
Well, that's a great thing. Yeah. That's a great thing. I love it. I love it.
But my main thing is I just want us to stay together throughout the season and just overcome adversity together.
Well, I think that's exactly it, Coach. I think there's a lot of that talk of that unity, that team, that family, and how important that is, right? So, knowing that going in, what is your final message, so to speak, for viewers watching to get them excited for this season upcoming?
Like the point guard said, we're going to play free basketball. We're going to get up and down the floor. We're going to get after people. So win, lose, or draw, you're going to know you were in a fight. So it's going to be up and down. We're going to pick you up as soon as you get off the bus. So I think it's going to be exciting for our fans to watch, as well as it's going to give an opportunity for all our girls to come and try to contribute all the way from our freshmen all the way up to our seniors.
We're definitely excited. Tomorrow night, your first option, Smithson Valley, 6:30 tip for the varsity. You want to be there in the Snake Pit and get in on the ground floor. Watch this happen as it happens and develops. So, ladies, we always want to, when the students are on, want to give you an opportunity to send some shout-outs to friends or family that you want to send a special thank you to. So, you know it's coming, girls in the back. Point guard's going to buy you some time. Live mic and some chance to shout out to some loved ones.
I shout out the whole basketball program. Everybody plays a big part.
Shout out to my mom and Coach Irvin and the whole basketball team.
I want to shout out all the parents for everything, for all their support, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
I'll shout out parents and coaches, the team, Amaya. And I'll shout out our nice and lovely cheerleader, Bailey Guzman. We miss her, but she's always there and supportive. So.
All right, and your support staff came out large tonight, filled the place here at Hays County Barbecue, the place to be on Monday nights at 6. So, girls, we are excited to see what everything that happens this year. We're going to be alongside you for the ride here on Rattler Up. You're welcome back anytime you want to come and visit with us. We're going to keep talking about you, supporting you, and being there for you. Thanks for coming on tonight. We appreciate you. All right, Hays County, give it up for the girls. All right, well, we'll certainly see them again as the season develops. But coming up next, we want to return our focus to the football field, and we're going to look ahead to this Friday night as the Rattlers playoff stretch begins. The bi-district round of the state playoffs begins this week, and our Rattlers will head to Austin to take on Vandegrift this Friday night at 7 p.m. at Monroe Memorial Stadium. Vandegrift will be a tough first-round opponent, as we talked about. They've won their district title. They have a 9-1 overall record, but we know that we have faced adversity before. We talked about it, Coach, a little bit earlier, just the idea that we've faced these tough challenges. We faced these tough challenges all year. We've been able to meet them. It's why the schedule was laid out the way it was. And so knowing that, what do you think is the one primary challenge that Vandegrift is going to give us, or can you even narrow it down to one primary?
Yeah, anytime you get in the playoffs, there's lots of challenges. But I think our schedule played out. When you play Westlake and Lake Travis and the Bowies and New Braunfels, all teams that are in the playoffs, East Central is in the playoffs. And so we played half our schedule was playoff teams. They prepared you for round one. The first and only challenge they present is some new schemes. But by Friday, we'll have that down, and then we'll be ready to go to war.
All right, well, we talked a little bit about you were so proud of the team after the Akins game for being happy to have accomplished it, but knowing that there was work to be done. Is that something you'll kind of have to check all week about making sure they don't get overhyped, or can you get overhyped for a game like this? No,
we've had them twice today. We had them in the morning, we had them in the afternoon, and we're not having to coach effort. We're not having to coach focus. So I told them, it's fun to say we got in the tournament, we're in the playoffs, but if you want to have real fun, you stay in the tournament.
Right.
And I think that they want to be in it.
And I think that's something we've talked before about. You and your coaching staff have experienced this.
Right.
And so what do some of the experiences that you've had in your career and your coaching staff have had with tough first-round opponents that you can bring and translate to the boys in their first time in that?
I was asked after the game last week if, what these guys never been there. How do you tell them? Well, we got to tell them stories, So we just got to reflect on certain times in practice, or whether it's in games that we've had in the past, or during the game maybe.
Right.
Been there, done that. We got to tell them stories.
All right. So injury report. How are we health-wise? Everybody going to be ready to go for Vandegrift?
Yeah, we're same old. We don't have. We're still missing Malik, and we miss him dearly. But he's Coach Malik now, and he's helping us quite a bit.
Well, that'll be fantastic. So, again, Friday night, this is the time. We want to get everybody out to Vandegrift for that bi-district matchup, to be there to support our boys. Well, that's going to do it for this week's Rattler Up, Hays County Barbecue. Did everybody have a nice time tonight on Rattler Up? All right, you've got to be with us here each week. This is the place, 6 o'clock on Monday nights. We're going to continue to bring you the sports talk Rattler Nation wants. The fellowship afterward, getting to visit with Coach Walsh, other coaches and staff that are here, and be a part of everything Rattler Nation. Now, before we go, we want to remind people again about opportunities to catch the Rattlers in action this week. We talked a little bit earlier. Tuesday night is your first chance to see the girls basketball team. Their home opener is in the Snake Pit. They'll take on Smithson Valley at 6:30 p.m. Watch that fast break action they talked about. That's going to be a fun first game. Be in on the ground floor, because you're going to want to be there when they're in the playoffs and running deep. You'll want to say you were there from the get-go, so be there Tuesday night. And then Friday night, now this is the big one, obviously, the Rattlers taking on Vandegrift in the bi-district round of the playoffs. Now this game is at 7 o'clock, kind of a cautionary tale here. A lot of our games are 7:30. This one is a 7 o'clock kickoff, so make sure you get up there to Monroe Memorial Stadium. Give yourself about an hour to get there. Swing by, get some food, get there, support, yell, scream, and be a part of Rattler Nation and support the Rattlers as they made it into the tournament. So, Coach, for the live crowd here at Hays County Barbecue, we're going to continue it on. We got Monday Night Football, a classic NFL matchup tonight, Bears-Steelers. So who have you got there?
Oh, man. I'm gonna have to go with the boss on this one. He'll catch the show. So Steelers.
Yeah, the smart move would be I too agree Steelers. Let everyone notate that we both picked.
That's right.
Now Mark DeLeon was mentioning that he thinks the Steelers are going to get pounced tonight. I was talking about that before the show. But we want to thank VYPE and our producer Josh for being here with us every week and putting this show on. Again, you can catch all our archived episodes, or if you can't be with us live on Monday nights in Hayes County Barbecue, you can watch us on the VYPE YouTube channel. Thanks to our live crowd, making it fun to talk sports and be a part of Rattler Nation. Well, for Coach Walsh, I'm CJ Odom, and that'll be it for Rattler Up.